So here's what I'm gonna have you do next. I'm gonna hold the back of your head and I'm gonna have you float on your back. You're gonna get a little bit of tickle in your ears. That's because when you float on your back, water goes in through your ears, and the way your ear cavities are inside your head, they fill up with water when you're on your back. When you're on your belly, that doesn't happen. Nothing happens to your ears. But when you're on your back, there's going to be a little bit of water that tickles your ears. I'm going to let that happen, and I'm going to help you shake it out a little bit and then get used to it by breathing through it, okay? All right, so I'm going to hold the back of his head. If you're an instructor out there, I recommend the football hold. You hold this like this, and you treat his head like it's a football, and you hold it back like this. That forces him to get his own legs up, his own belly up. Yeah, there you go. And when you're on your back, you want your legs, you want your feet and your hands underwater. Everything else, yeah, everything else can come up like your belly and your chin. There you go. Now I'm going to have you stand up by pulling your knees to your chest and then putting your feet on the ground. Knees to chest first. Yeah, knees to chest first and then feet on the ground. It's kind of like you're sitting up in bed. When you dismount from a back float, I want you to look like this. Like you're sitting up in bed. So your head comes up and your knees come in. From here, you'll notice that your feet naturally find their way to the ground. But if you want to make it a 3-step process, it's head up, knees to chest, feet to ground. Head up, knees to chest, feet to ground. Turn around and float back this way. Head back. Got you, chin up. Put your chin back, good. Belly up, stretch out nice and tall. Now this time I want you to close your eyes and imagine yourself floating in space, outer space. That's what water's like. Astronauts train in the water because it's a lot like space. And when you think of it like that, all of a sudden you realize you can do whatever you want. You could flip, you could spin, you could kick, you could pull, you can do whatever you want because you're in space. If ever you needed a breath, you would sit up and put your feet on the ground. Ready? All right, so now I'm going to have him start kicking a little bit, but before I have him kicking on his back, I'm going to make him kick over there on the stairs just so I can test the strength of his kick. All right, so now when we kick our feet, go ahead and start kicking. Most people ask me, is it straight legs or bent knees? That's not really the important part. If your legs are too straight, like right now he's almost locking his knees, I want him to bend his knees a little bit more. Bend his knees a little bit more. If you're someone who is running in the water, well, then I might tell you to stretch your legs out. But the goal of kicking in the water is to roll the water off the toes this way, to push water that way. And the only way we're going to find out if he can push water that way is by putting a kickboard in front of him and having him kick the water to push the kickboard away. Kick, 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 kick. Kick, 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 kick. Yeah, good. Now stop. And watch me do it. So, when you're kicking, especially on your back with your toes up, you want to keep it all underwater. When you're on your belly, it's okay to splash. It's good to splash. When you're on your back, you want to keep it all underwater. Okay, now watch. It's like you're boiling the water. It's a really small kick, and it's all in the toes. It's all in the toes. I'm just fluttering my toes. I'm using my knees, my quads, and everything to just flutter the toes as easily and as fast and rapidly as I can. Okay? Keep it going, keep it going. Good. I see a boil. Yes, good. 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 And stop. That's not easy to do. No. Take a break. We're going to do it one more time. 3, 2, 1, kick. Good. Good. And stop. Good. So we've got his kick going. The next step will be to add his kick to his back float so that he can start feeling like he's moving around a little bit on his own right away within 30 minutes of our first day. Your kick in swimming is like the engine on the back of a boat. Now, our bodies are unique. The human body has paddles, our arms, and an engine, our kick. Depending on what stage of your learning you're in, sometimes the kick is more important and other times the pull is more important. But for right now, we're gonna have him just kicking because we're still using his arms to stabilize him in the water for floating. So I'm gonna get his kick going. So at the very beginning stages of learning, Usually I would start with the kick, not the pull. All right, so now I'm gonna have you on your back. I'm gonna hold you, and you're just gonna be kicking like that. Just little bitty kicks. I'm gonna hold you up, but you're gonna be doing little bitty kicks. Chin up. Yeah. And start kicking. Good. Little flutters. Little flutters. I'll keep you up. Stretch your belly out. Stretch your belly out like you're arching your back. Arch your back a little bit. Yeah. And pull your legs down and pull your belly up. All right, now dismount. Sit up first, knees in, and feet ground. Good. That one I helped way less. I helped way less on that one. Belly up. Arch your. That's all right. Arch your back. Arch your back. Don't sit down in the water. Lay back in bed. Lay back in bed. And stand up. Oh. My bad. I didn't say it loud enough. Stand up. Good. Good. So when you're trying to stretch your belly out, you have two options: arch your back, or pretend like you're fat Santa Claus and just like make a fat belly. That usually brings it up too. Your bottom sinks, and that's because when you get in water as a beginner, your core is tight because you're still a little bit out of control. You feel like you need to maintain control. I need you to loosen up, relax, let me control you, and then I'll teach you how to regain the control through kicking and paddling, not through your core necessarily. So the best way to float on your back is to arch your back or push your belly up like you're fat Santa Claus. Okay? I'm gonna have him go on his back again. You're bold. You're bold. Put your feet on the ground. You're bold. I like it. That means you're going to learn fast. You're trying new things on your own already. Okay, so chin up. And now arch your back or push your belly up like you're fat. Yeah, one of those will work eventually. Keep doing it. Yeah, here we go. Arch your lower back again. Let your knees bend more too. That might help. Okay, now stand up, sit up, knees in, feet on the ground. Hey, I didn't really help with that one at all. I initiated his push up, but then he stood up on his own. Well done. And let him catch his breath, and then we're going to go back again. All right, turn around. Yeah, you're doing good. Chin up. And now belly up, arch your back, push it up. Make it fat. Okay, you're gonna stand up. Nice. So I'm letting you do that a little bit more and more so that you start to anticipate it the next time you stand up. Yeah, he's light as a feather. He's really, really good on his back. I bet you today I could even let go of him on his back without fins. Yep, look at that. The reason I grabbed him again is to keep his momentum going. He's still not quite fast enough in the water to keep his own momentum going very well, but I'm helped. Stand up. Use your arms. Use your arms. There you go. There you go.
I'm tilting.
It's like, oh, you're tilting to the side. Keep your legs bent. You're very much still, when you stand up, you like to straighten your legs really quickly. Your legs will be the last thing that you straighten out.
I mean, when I was swimming, I was going on the side.
Yeah, I noticed that too. You were tipping a little bit. When that happens, spread your arms out and use paddle, like push away from you, because it recenters you. Once you start going one direction, you got to push against that direction, and then you're centered again. A lot of people want to learn how to tread water. We can also teach you how to tread water, but treading water is not as efficient as backfloating. Backfloating could save your life. Treading water could kill you because it's so exhausting. Treading water should be done for pleasure, or if your rescue is finally nearby and they're about to throw you something, maybe you just want to come up into a tread to grab whatever they're throwing you. Treading water is only reserved for like water polo players or other water sports like synchronized swimming, and then for those who are just trying to enjoy sipping on a cup of something while they're talking to friends in deep water. Okay, but for you, when we're on our back, everything is the opposite as when you're on your belly. When you're on your belly, you want your chin down, but when you're on your back, you want your chin up. Now, the other thing that happens on your back that most people don't like is the water will enter your ears and it tickles. It almost feels strange and foreign, and it kind of is uncomfortable. The reason that doesn't happen on your belly is the way our ear cavities are developed. When you're on your belly and you come up, first off, the water kind of suctions on the way in and then just kind of pops out on the way out. Whereas on your back, you're allowing it to drain in a little bit. And so it does feel uncomfortable. When you come up, you're always going to feel like there's water in your ears or there's a radio in your ears. But when you're on your back, to get used to that tickle, you're going to let it settle in. It's going to tickle. And then you're going to take a deep breath here. Whoo, and you're going to blow it out with some sort of noise, because when you make that noise, it muffles the sound, and all of a sudden your brain becomes more curious about the sound than it does the feeling. Okay, so if you just start talking to yourself when you're on your back, most people find themselves calming down. It's the weirdest feeling. Okay, so I'm gonna have you turn around. The way I'm always gonna help a swimmer when they back float is by holding their back, their head like a football, not their back. Because if I'm holding their back, they're gonna press down with their hips and sink. If I'm holding their head, then they're going to press their head back, which is going to bring their hips up. So if you're an instructor out there watching these videos, I call it the football hold. Always hold the head by the football for back floats. Now I'm going to have him just lean back as if he's falling asleep in bed, and I'm going to keep his head up. He's got to trust me a little bit here. Now, I'm going to ask him to stretch his back out, or stretch your belly out. Stretch your belly out. Good. Stretch through your belly as if you're almost arching your back the other way. Good. And stand up. Nice. All right, so a lot of you guys have asked me the question of how do I keep my legs from sinking when I'm on my back? If you notice there, I said to him, it's okay if your legs sink. That's because they will sink every time. They will. Unless you're kicking. When you're kicking, your legs keep coming back up to the surface, and as you're moving, things in motion tend to stay in motion. So as you begin pushing forwards through the water like a boat, you're going to rise in the water, and then you're going to stay there so long as you don't change anything. Okay? So it's almost as if you are complaining about sinking legs when you float on your back and you think you're unique, you're not. Everyone's legs sink when they float on their back, including mine. Now, I have trained myself to be able to use my core and my body line and my head position to kind of keep them up even when I'm on my back. But it's not something that I expect anybody else to do. I still kind of have to, it's not going to work. I still kind of have to use my arms to keep them up, or I have to use my pick to keep them up. But at some point, you're going to have to move forward in the water for your legs to stay up. They will sink every time. It's a guarantee. Okay? So this time, once he gets on his back, I'm going to have him stretch his belly out, then breathe, and then I'll tell him to start adding in a little kick. Back. Good. Stretch the belly out. Take some deep breaths. Yeah, get your muscles to float. Remember, you're in space. Pretend you're an astronaut, just float away into space. Now start kicking. You're going to feel them rise. Lean the chin back. I know you don't want to. Lean the chin back. Sun's in your eyes. Just keep your eyes closed and kick. Kicking on your back with your eyes closed is one of the most scary things in the whole wide world. It's right up there with heights. Stand up. Stand up. Did good. Yeah, you did good. Good. Start kicking. Good. Try to stretch your neck out. Yeah. Stretch your whole spine. The taller you swim, the easier it is. Good. I'm gonna let it go. Bounce. Good. Kicking. Belly arched. Your back arched. The belly stretched. And stand up. Good. Good job. So next up, we're going to review the back float, getting you to start kicking a little bit on your back. Now, yesterday when I had you, I didn't want you to kick right away. We're past that now. Once you get on your back, start kicking right away. I'm going to kick us back and forth here. I'm going to be able to rotate your body down there. Just stay in the back float. It's going to feel very foreign, but as long as I'm holding you, the uncomfortable feelings are okay, because then you don't do them when you're not with me, and you'll be okay. When you're with me, if it's uncomfortable, that's okay. I'm here. Start kicking. Good. Now remember, when he kicks underwater, that he's going to kick small and fast. He's not going to break the surface of the water with his knees or his feet, and maybe his big toes, but that would be kicks. You're going to turn around, stay in your float. I'm going to spread water just because I'm off the edge, but you're not. Something different when I'm treading water, but you're good. Nice job. Start to paddle the hands. I like it. I like it. Good job. He's pretty weightless right now. Even though I've got his hands, I'm not holding him up. He's pretty weightless. He's doing most of this on his own. Keep breathing. Good. Now stand up. Whoa, you got better. Did you practice? Did you practice on after our workout?
No, I just.
Oh wow, you just remembered it. Yeah, yeah, you remembered to sit up. Awesome. He dismounted really well there, sitting up in the water. That was excellent. Okay, we're gonna go again. This time I'm gonna have him start moving faster. We're gonna do it two back and forth 2 more times, so 4 lengths of this width. Okay? Getting going faster and faster each time. Keep the head up. Pull the face up. I mean, you're pushing it underwater. Pull it up. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Gotcha. Just spinning around. Yep, good job. Try and turn it. Look, it's not here. Good. Good. Keep the face pulled up. Good. Let you do the last yard on your own. Keep the face pulled up. Okay, good. Stand up. Yeah, nice. Excellent. All right, now we're gonna get him going as fast as he can. So on that one, I already heard him breathing more because he was putting forth more effort. Once you start going fast, make sure you're taking deep breaths. Oftentimes when we sprint in water, we're going as hard as we can. We'll stop breathing, we'll hold our breath. It's some sort of instinct that we have where we'll hold our breath in order to give more effort. But we don't want that. We don't want you to hold your breath. We want you to keep breathing. And the harder you swim, the deeper the breaths should be. Okay, turn around one more time. Hold the face up. Hold the face up. There you go. Yeah, it's okay for your hips to sink a little bit more just to keep the face up. Good. Good. I'm going to turn us. Good. Good light. Really light. Good. Faster you go, the lighter you are. I love it. Don't bend the knees too much. There will be a knee bend, but it's mostly in the feet. You're fluttering your feet. Yeah. There you go. Okay, stand up. Good. All right, the next step is I'm going to have him do it again with me, and he's going to start looking around. He's going to start looking around, not underwater yet, but he's going to start looking around just so he can understand that he doesn't have to remain completely frozen. He is in control. When I was holding his head up, he was light as a feather. I could have let him go, but as a good teacher, I won't until I've told him that that's what's coming next. Okay, don't trick your swimmers into doing things. You're going to lose their trust really fast. Good. Yeah. Oh, nice. I was just saying. Start looking around. There's the diving board. Slide. Good. Keep yourself back. And there, stand up. When you're on your back, all of a sudden it's going to start to feel like deep water isn't a problem. And that's what I'm doing. I'm changing the relationship that you have with deep water. When you're on your back and your lungs are filled with air and you're able to kick, you're not going under. All right, I'm gonna have you kick yourself back to the shallow. Here we go. And stand up. No problem for you. Yeah. You don't need your legs on your back as much as you think you do. Good. Like the breathing, sound calm. Good. Nice. If you like this video, splash that like button, subscribe to the channel for free, and consider becoming a member today. If you want your own private lessons in person or online, head over to our Rocket Swimming website. If you want shorter videos and tips throughout the week, follow us on our other social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. If you want your own Rocket Swimming merch, you can find that on the Rocket Swimming website as well, or you can find it on these YouTube videos. That's it. Thanks for watching this video. Get ready to rocket to the moon.